Ever feel like you're talking to a brick wall? Like you're putting all this energy into a conversation and it's just not landing?
Yeah, we've all been there.
It's frustrating, right? Makes you wonder why we even bother sometimes. But what if I told you there's a superpower hiding in plain sight that can completely transform the way we connect with each other?
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the superpower?
It's simple. Listening, but not just passively hearing words, but truly deeply listening to understand.
Right, like active listening. I've heard that term thrown around, but
Mm-hmm.
honestly, sometimes it feels kind of vague.
Totally. So today we're diving into a video called Talks That Matter. They break down these essential listening skills into practical, actionable techniques anyone can use.
All right, let's do it.
First up, be present. Sounds obvious, right? But let's be real. How many times have you been scrolling through your phone with someone's trying to have a conversation? Or mentally planning dinner?
Oh, all the time. Guilty as charged. Especially with like all the distractions nowadays. Phones, notifications, that little voice in your head reminding you about your to-do list.
Exactly. And Talks That Matter really emphasizes how crucial it is to quiet that internal noise, put down the distractions, and just be fully present with the person in front of you.
It's about creating that space, that mental space, where you're not just hearing their words, but you're actually absorbing what they're saying, picking up on their emotions, their nuances.
And it's amazing how much our body language plays into that too. Like think about when someone leans in while you're talking, makes eye contact, nods along.
Totally. It makes you feel heard, you know?
Yeah.
Like what you're saying actually matters.
Talks That Matter actually calls this body language speaks volumes. And it's so true. We might not even realize how much we're communicating without saying a word.
Absolutely. It's those nonverbal cues, a slight nod, an open posture that show you're engaged, receptive, even if you haven't spoken a word yet.
And speaking of not speaking, this next tip is a tough one. Even for a chatterbox like me, resisting the urge to interrupt.
Oh, tell me about it. It's
Yeah.
like as soon as someone says something, my brain's already formulating a response, ready to jump in.
Right. And Talks That Matter points out that interrupting doesn't just disrupt the flow of conversation, it can actually make people less likely to open up in the future.
Yeah.
Think about it. If you're constantly getting cut off, you're going to start feeling hesitant to share your thoughts.
It's about respecting their train of thought, letting it unfold naturally. Because when people feel heard, they're more likely to share their true, authentic selves.
And that's where the magic of asking insightful questions comes in. I love how Talks That Matter emphasizes going beyond those surface level questions and really digging deeper.
Well, like instead of just saying, that's interesting, you could ask, what led you to that conclusion? Or tell me more about that experience. It shows you're genuinely curious. You want to understand their perspective.
Right, and those deeper questions, they can spark such incredible conversations. It's like you're inviting the other person to open up, to share their unique insights and experiences.
And that ties into the last key takeaway from Talks That Matter, summarizing.
Oh yeah, paraphrasing. At first, it sounds kind of formal, right? But it's actually a game changer.
Because it's not just about repeating what they said. It's about reflecting back the emotions, the underlying message. It shows you're not just listening to respond, you're listening to understand.
And when someone feels truly understood, that's when you can have those deeper, more meaningful connections. So to recap, we've got be present, use your body language, resist interrupting, ask insightful questions, and summarize to show you understand.
And imagine weaving these techniques into your everyday conversations. How much richer, how much more fulfilling could our interactions become? It makes you wonder.
It really does. What conversation in your life would be most transformed by these simple yet powerful listening skills? Think about it.